Assalamu alaikum friends! Welcome to the 30th story in our series, Heavenly Children by Kisa Kids Publications. Today, we'll explore the childhood of our 11th Imam, Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam. Let's open the pages of the story and learn together. The dusty city streets echoed with noise as little children played their games. In one corner, a few kids were hollering and whooping as they competed in an energetic soccer match. As they played, the ball would bounce off the doors and walls of nearby houses. On the other side of the street, children were pretend sword fighting, trying to see who would be the best soldier amongst them. Meanwhile, on the doorstep of a nearby house, some children were spinning colorful tops, challenging each other to spin their top the longest, laughing each time the tops tumbled. Occasionally, a wary mother would pop her head out of a doorway to plead for some quiet. Finally, one woman emerged from her door, waving a broom in her hand. "Why are you making so much noise? Don't you have somewhere else you can play?" she shouted. Just then, a very tall man walked through the street. He wore a white thobe with a green abaya draped over his shoulders. From his demeanor, it was clear he was one of the companions of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Some children sat in his path, but the man didn't want to disturb their games. He waited for them to finish and then walked through once they had cleared the way. Several times, the children even ran right into him, brushing past his legs or into his thobe. But he would just smile at all the fun they were having. As he continued on his walk, the man came across one child unlike the rest. Instead of playing with friends, he was quietly sitting by himself on the steps of a house. He seemed to be observing the other children's games. The man wondered why this little boy was not playing. Perhaps it was because he didn't have a toy. The kind companion decided to go to one of the little shops and surprise the child with a beautiful sword. He quickly purchased a nice-looking sword and presented it to the child. "Look what I've got for you," he said warmly. "I bought you the sword. Why don't you go join your friends?" The boy smiled at the man and said, "May Allah bless you. Thank you very much, but I'm sitting here because I'm thinking about Allah's mercy and wonderful blessings. Did you know that Allah says in the Quran that we have not been created only to play?" The man blinked. He was not expecting this answer as the little boy's response. He realized that this was no ordinary boy. This was a very special child indeed. Curious to understand the child, the man sat down next to him and asked, "So why have we been created?" Confidently, the boy replied, "To gain knowledge, make good choices, and worship Allah." The man became even more intrigued. "Where did you learn this from?" he asked. He expected the boy to mention his parents or teacher. "In the Quran, Allah says, 'Do you think that you have been created without any purpose?'" The boy answered serenely. Now the man was completely shocked. This child knew the Quran so well. The man knew that only an Imam could speak so beautifully. Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam would also speak this wisely and quote the Quran in his discussion. Slowly, it dawned upon him. Surely he was speaking with a child from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Who could this little boy be? Of course, this child was Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, the son of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. The man had one last question for the wise little Imam alayhi salam. "You are just a kid. You're not even baligh. Shouldn't you be having fun?" he asked earnestly. "I know," Imam al-Askari replied, But it is never too early to start gathering good deeds because bad deeds seem to pile up very quickly. Imam alayhi salam looked at the man. Let me explain. Sometimes I used to watch my mother try to light a fire. First, she tried to light the big logs, but they would not catch fire easily. So in order to light the big logs, she would gather and light small twigs, because the twigs were so small they could catch fire easily and would then help light fire the bigger firewood. The man smiled as he realized what the Imam alayhi salam was teaching him. The Imam alayhi salam continued, humans are the same. If we start doing good deeds from a young age, then as we get older, these good deeds, like the twigs, will light our hearts to do more good deeds. However, if we do bad deeds from a young age, it will be harder to perform good deeds as we get older. This left the man speechless. He had never heard such a wise reply from such a young child. He stood up and thanked the young Imam alayhi salam for teaching him such an important lesson. He kissed the young Imam's hand and bid him farewell. As he headed home, the man thought deeply about what the young Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam had explained to him. Now I see why it is so important for us to start doing good deeds and stay away from bad deeds as early in life as possible, he thought. As he walked down the street, the afternoon sun shone high above him. He could hear the pleasant clamour of other children laughing and playing in the distance. He thanked Allah for having met such a special child. Friends, as we reflect on the extraordinary journey of Imam al-Askari alayhi salam, may we always hold dear the lessons we've learned from him and cherish the blessings of his guidance. Ilahi Ameen. We'll see you soon with another story from the series, focusing on our 12th Imam, Imam al-Mahdi. Until then, take care and Allah Hafiz.